Hello, friends. You're welcome to Leadership Go with the Brainy Leadership Team. I'm Michael Brainy as I come your way with this episode. But today, I'm not working alone, just like Liverpool doesn't work alone. Yes, I'm not a fan of Liverpool though, but so we have here um, my guest for today on a very important conversation. She's a team member at the Brainy Leadership Team doing so well in her space and within her area of influence. And I would like to ask her to introduce herself. Then we can kick start our conversation. So you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Brainy. My name is Boitenomo Benedicta Boinoki. Um, I don't have much to say about myself, but then all I can say is I'm an upcoming CEO at Artisanal Craftsmanship. Yeah, and I'm an undergraduate of the University of Ghana. Yeah, that is all I can say about myself.
Okay, thank you so much. You know, this kind of people, when they say they don't have much to say, they are the ones that have a lot to say, actually. They just don't want to talk. And they'll try and tell you they have little experience and all, but I know them. Okay, so Benedicta, you're welcome once again.
Thank you.
We are looking at today, we want to look at how motivation and inspiration makes up the whole concept of leadership. You know, John Quincy Adams, a past president of US, says that when your action causes people to learn more, do more, and lead well, inspire them, and all of that, then it means you're a leader. So, in other words, when people are able to take inspiration from an individual, that individual is simply a leader. Because you will honestly not take inspiration from just anyone, myself too, right? So we are going to look at how leadership and motivation are leadership is intertwined with motivation and inspiration. But I want to know from your view, basically on a basic level, what you think about the two, motivation and then inspiration, and how they are linked with leadership.
Okay, so I'd use a basic example. We all know that the engine works in a car.
Right.
Yeah, but then without oil or fuel, the engine will not operate.
Exactly.
Okay. So motivation and inspiration are like the engine and then the oil.
Wow.
Okay. So the inspiration is the oil and the motivation is the engine. So this is how I take inspiration and motivation. If I get an oil in my car, then my engine starts to work. Yeah, so motivation, I say motivation is an engine within the individual that propels us to achieve our goals. And then inspiration is that oil. So I call it a sparking
Okay.
car.
Yeah.
You understand? So inspiration is the oil that boosts up the engine to work. Okay, so let's say you've seen this golden thing. You will see it, it will attract you. Then after it has attracted you, then it will start ringing in your mind. Should I go and buy some? So the should I go and buy some is the motivation that you've started processing. And then the seeing of the thing is the inspiration.
Okay.
So that is how I see inspiration and motivation.
Okay, so with your last example, seeing the golden material gives you some sort of inspiration to take an action.
Yeah.
And buying it, processing it to be able to buy it is getting yourself motivated.
Yeah.
And I kind of side with you on the issue of the oil and the engine. So I think that just to add up, I think that the oil and the engine example you're citing, if one is oil and one is in fuel, what happens is like you rightly said, the oil generally, it's not the oil that sparks the car,
the car,
but
but
it
it
helps the
helps. It
engine to
helps. That
function,
is what
right?
I
But the fuel is what actually caused the
cause
ignition for the car to move.
yes.
So it means that inspiration and motivation play those role in a leader's life to make them effective.
Yes.
Wow, wow, wow. So we are picking the leader as an engine, but then the engine requires both oil and gasoline or fuel to function.
To function.
Wow, wow. That's an amazing one. One thing came in mind, and I want to find out from you what you think about it. Do you think that since we are talking about engine, fuel, and oil, should motivation come from outside or it should come from inside or both? So, as a leader, do I need motivation from an external and inspiration from an external, or I have to build it myself and move with it?
Okay, so motivation can come from an external and it can come from the internal parts too.
Excellent.
Okay, so this is a scenario. Um, motivation can come through speaking.
Okay.
So someone can speak to you and you get motivated. And someone can just walking and you get motivated. And sometimes too, most of the time I say I'm my own motivation. Sometimes someone can even disagree with you and you get motivated. Even though the person is disagreeing with you, you'll be motivated. For example,
Wow.
I was citing something to someone that God can be a Satan in your enemy's life. And people were like, what is that? You are not supposed to say that. But then I got motivated. I realized that I was confusing the people. So I got motivated to teach them more. To make them understand.
Oh, okay.
So this is a way that someone can also get motivated. So motivation comes in so many ways. And as a leader, you can motivate people with all those ways if you find them in you. So that is what I think.
Thank you. So basically the conclusion is that motivation can come from external and it can come from internal. And I think that once again, what I'm adding up is, so it depends on the leader to know to what extent which one you need.
Yes.
Because since you cited an example about God, if we should go into the Bible, a man called David, where he went for war and came back and realized that his town has been captured, wives, children, and all. Bible says that he strengthened himself in the Lord. So there are situations where, like you are saying, for me, if I know what I'm doing is right and everybody disagrees, the only motivation I can have is for me, right? But there are times too where your mentors can be inspirations, other people who are leading you can be inspirations. So I think as I side with you, it should be both. Now, my next question is, what role does appreciation play in the whole concept of motivating and inspiring others? So you are in a team, right? We have a group of people and you are a leader. Still looking at motivation. This time, not from you, the leader, receiving, but you're working with a group of people. What role does appreciation, showing gratitude, all of that play in inspiring and motivating your team members?
This question is like one big experience I've ever had.
Wow.
Like I work in an institution where they recognize a lot.
Okay.
They do recognitions a lot. So there was one time.
I told you people that these are the people who will tell you they don't have anything doing. But she said she works in an institution. She didn't mention the institution. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Yes, please go ahead.
So there was one time, most of the time they can give you a paper recognition. That one will write and take a picture of you and send it to the head office so that it will show to them that, okay, this person works well and is very hardworking. So I've not received that before though. So I was trying so hard to receive that because seeing you at the head office is a big distance.
It's a big deal.
And sometimes one recognition is a good job. in the workplace. They'll tell you good job. And when I started working, I've never heard that before.
Wow.
So one time I was mobbing, and then one manager was like, good job, Benedicta, good job. Like that whole day was like the biggest this thing for me. So like it got me inspired, like motivated. That whole day I was working like never before, like just because of that good job. And then that same day, because of the way I was working, it was a Mother's Day also.
Wow.
I had to go and prepare rice for customers. I prepared the rice so well that I needed something. And that day I got a paper.
Wow.
A paper recognition.
Wow.
So I was so happy that day. So in this contest, it means that appreciations are so very powerful. Because if you appreciate me, I know the next one I'll do, you appreciate me better. Yeah, so appreciations in no matter how it is, some people wouldn't appreciate the good job that I received, but something else. But you never can tell where or what is making someone happy.
Right.
So just imagine, nobody knew good job, ordinary good, even in our workplace, nobody believe in good job. They'll even tell you stop saying what you're saying. But I was so excited.
Wow.
So you never can tell which one you are doing that will help. So appreciations, it helps a lot. If I'm doing something and tell me I'm doing well, then it means I should do better. So I think every leader should learn how to appreciate, and that will help.
Your story is such a good one. And I mean, sometimes these small motivations really help, and appreciation. Myself, at my workplace, your story just made me remember one time. At my workplace, I did something that gave me recognition, but my own wasn't paper. My paper was the paper that we can use to do things.
Okay.
You understand the paper I'm talking about? Yes. The paper that can cause exchanges to take place, right? So I was so excited when the next opportunity came. I took it up fast, and I went. Oh, I think it's a good one. It motivated me that I can do more. I can utilize opportunities. Thank you very much. My last but one question is, what advice would you give to young leaders like you, like myself, those watching us, and all of that? What advice will you give them if they want to inculcate this leadership style of motivating and inspiring people? What advice would you give them?
Okay, so what I would say is motivation involves goals.
Okay.
So if you don't have a goal, okay, so first of all, you have to know the organization you are in, because every organization has their own objectives. So if you get the understanding of the objectives that the organization has, then you take that objectives, used to set a goal. Then you learn how to communicate with your people.
Okay, so I'm coming. First is know the organization within which you are working, or the team we are working with.
Yes, please.
2, know the objectives or the main goal of the organization. Then build sub goals from it. Then the next thing is communicate it clearly to the team. Okay.
And not just communication. Some people will communicate. Some people will communicate, but they think they are clear, but the people are not clear. So like effective communication.
Clear enough.
Yes, you have to sit with them one-on-one and make sure that they understand what you are doing. Yes. And then from there, I think the rest will come by itself. And learn from people. Like there was a time I was learning from someone. He said that when I am an assistant president, the president will be doing some things that will be corrected. Like people will correct them. And then me, the assistant, I'll be sitting there folding my arms. It means that one day I'll be there to repeat the same mistake. So I have to just take that for myself. So like I always say, every day, let your ears be wide. The Bible even says it. Listen quickly, but
more talk less.
talk
Yeah.
less. Yes. So you listen. The ones that are better, you
You
take
take
them. The
them.
ones that are not important, you ignore them. So that is all I can say.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much. I hope the viewers are enjoying our conversation.
Yeah.
Would you have any last words, anything you want to say before we bring today's session to an end?
Um, I saw a quote on a signboard, and the quote was like, I'm not quoting exactly,
Exactly.
but I'm just saying something concerning the quote. It was like, your today is not the same as your tomorrow. Just imagine you are taking a picture today, like your picture today is not the same as your picture before,
Yes, yes.
even yesterday.
Horrible.
Yeah. So it means that anything you are planning to do, any project you have in mind to do, if you keep them in your mind, you are never going to do them. But then if you start from somewhere, even if it's taking your phone, recording yourself without posting them, it means you started a journey.
Right.
Yes. So you have to start from somewhere and get somewhere. So that is all I have for my viewers.
Thank you so much. For me, I picked several things. One thing I learned about communication is using stories and examples. So
Yeah.
it makes some of the things you said very easy.
Easier.
The basic one I remember was the issue of the oil and then the fuel.
Well,
So let your motivation be your oil, let your inspiration be your fuel, which means you need all of them as a car to move as a leader. And she also spoke to us on how to motivate people, especially if you want to adopt it as a leader. Because I remember before we started, I made a quote by John Quincy Adams telling us that people take actions and do more things when leaders inspire them. Right? So if you want to inculcate inspirational leadership as a leader, what you have to do is to know your team, know general objectives, set goals. Then when people achieve these goals, you can rightly award and appreciate them. Thank you so much for today and for the insight you've shared with us. I'm Michael Brainy. I'm your friend. I love you and I want you to do well. Do well to subscribe and share with people that you think this video will be helpful to. I'll see you in our next episode. Thank you.